Wall Street Millennial, always great videos.
Over the past 3 years, big tech companies have collectively spent hundreds of billions of dollars on AI data centers and supporting infrastructure. For the
Not
most part,
enough.
this makes sense. In the cases of Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Oracle, they're cloud service providers. They spend hundreds of billions of dollars to build massive new data centers and fill them up with NVIDIA GPUs. They then sell the computing power to the likes of OpenAI and other AI startups. But of the big tech AI spenders, there's one company that stands out. Over the past few years, Meta has spent tens of billions of dollars on AI infrastructure. In 2021, Meta spent $19 billion in capital expenditures. In just the first 9 months of 2025, they spent $48 billion. Substantially all of this increase can be attributed to building new data centers and filling them up with expensive NVIDIA GPUs. Meta is building massive new AI data centers all over the country, including in Texas, Wisconsin, Alabama, Ohio, and Louisiana. And Meta's spending is just getting started. Recently, Zuckerberg announced plans to spend $600 billion on AI data centers over the next several years. $600 billion is
Bro,
a lot of
it's
money
like
even for
6
Meta.
data
Its
center.
core business generates approximately $100 billion per year of operating cash flow. So Zuckerberg is planning to spend basically all of the company's profits on AI for the foreseeable future. But this begs the question of why. Unlike the other big tech companies, Meta is not a cloud service provider. They do not sell computing capacity to external customers. All of Meta's AI data centers will be used to develop Meta's own AI products. Meta has an AI chatbot and other AI products which are available for consumers to use for free. Currently, they offer no paid tiers and thus generate zero revenue. In today's video, we'll take a deep dive into Zuckerberg's bizarre and expensive AI strategy. Yann LeCun is a French-American computer
Doesn't want to be
scientist who's
left
considered
out.
to be one of the pioneers of AI research. In the 1990s, he worked for Bell Labs, where he developed a machine learning algorithm that can recognize handwritten text. Bell commercialized this product, and it was used by the US Postal Service to recognize handwritten zip codes on mail. In the early 2000s, he left Bell Labs and became a computer science professor at New York University, where
Bro, was there AI back then?
he conducted further AI research. In 2013, Zuckerberg hired LeCun to be the chief scientist for the newly formed Facebook Artificial Intelligence Research Organization, also known as FAIR. FAIR was tasked with developing AI models which Facebook would integrate into its business. Facebook has been using artificial intelligence in its products since long before the current AI hype cycle. For example, since 2010, Facebook has used image recognition technology to recognize people's faces and
Or was it AI? I mean, it wasn't. Still ain't.
tag them in photos. They also use AI for such purposes as automatic translation, content moderation, and ad targeting. Throughout the 2010s and early 2020s, this was FAIR's main focus. The types of AI that are integrated into Facebook's apps are not nearly as computationally intensive as the large language models of today. Facebook did invest significantly into FAIR, but most of this money went towards paying high salaries to AI researchers. They did not require the massive data centers that are associated with AI today. When Facebook changed its name to Meta in 2021, FAIR was rebranded as Meta AI. Everything changed in 2022 with the release of ChatGPT. When Zuckerberg saw the rapid growth of ChatGPT, he immediately wanted to get in on this new technology. So he instructed Meta AI to develop their own large language model. No expense was to be spared. Money would not be an issue. In 2023, Meta launched something called Llama, which is an acronym for Large Language Model Meta AI. It is a large language model similar to ChatGPT. Meta developed Llama in-house, likely spending hundreds of millions of dollars on computing costs. Meta made the model weights available for researchers and developers to download directly, rather than locking access behind a proprietary API. This effectively open sourced a state-of-the-art LLM at a moment when the field was dominated by closed models from OpenAI and Google. Anybody can download the Llama AI model.
So the rumor was that the model was unable to compete with Google and ChatGPT, and so that's why they decided, fuck it, I can't compete with them this way. I'm just gonna open it, and I'm gonna try to get as much people to use it this way.
And run it on their own computer. Meta does not charge people to use Llama and thus does not directly generate any revenue from it. Many third-party developers have incorporated Llama into their own applications. For example, the Brave browser has an AI assistant called Leo. Leo is powered in part by Llama. Meta uses Llama to put AI chatbots and other features into its own products. For example, they have an AI chatbot which is free to use on their website meta.ai. Currently, there's no premium option that you can pay for. They've also incorporated Llama into Instagram. For example, here I'm using Instagram to create an AI version of Mark Zuckerberg as a reptile. Within a few minutes, it created Zuckosaurus, which I can talk to. Instagram does not generate any revenue from this feature. Meta also created the Meta AI app, available on both iPhone and Android. It contains an endlessly scrolling feed of AI-generated slop videos, similar to OpenAI's
Oh,
Sora.
wow.
You can generate your own AI slop videos at no cost. It seems that, at least for now, Meta does not have a very effective copyright protection system. For example, I was able to generate this video of Mario. Meta does not have any deal or agreement with Nintendo, which allows the use of its characters. Currently, the only way Meta directly generates revenue from AI is with its augmented reality glasses, which incorporate various AI features. However, these features often don't work. Let's watch a
Oh,
short video of Zuckerberg attempting to receive a WhatsApp video call on the Meta AI glasses.
Want to try a video call? I think we should. What do you think? All right. All right. So I think our call will be coming in any moment now.
Pause WhatsApp video call.
There we go. Uh-oh. Well, let's see what happened there. That's too bad. I don't know what happened. Maybe Boz can try calling me again. All right. Well, I got a missed video call. Okay, there's the actual video call. All right. I'm just going to pick that up with my neural band. This is, you know, it happens. Yeah, let's, what do you think? Let's just go ahead and...
Pause WhatsApp video call.
that looks good. But yeah, he gave an explanation after the presentation.
All right. Try it again. I keep on messing this up. And if not, then we'll go for the less fun option. Okay. I don't know what to tell you guys. All right.
The AI glasses are included within Meta's Reality Labs segment, which generates minuscule revenue and incurs huge losses. Over the past 2 years, Reality Labs has generated $4.5 billion of revenue and incurred $36 billion of operating losses. Despite no obvious return on investment, Zuckerberg seems intent on pouring limitless amounts of money to develop artificial intelligence. Zuckerberg believes this will eventually result in so-called artificial superintelligence. In July of 2025, he published this video on Instagram where he discussed his vision for what he calls
Maybe if he's able to keep everything that everybody records. But the thing is, it's just going to mimic intelligence. These are all tricks to mimic, okay? There's no intelligence. If it was intelligent, you wouldn't need to retrain all these models.
superintelligence.
I want to talk about our new effort, Meta Superintelligence Labs, and our vision.
Also, this is super misleading. It's just changing the goalposts for everybody. Changing
to build personal
terminologies.
superintelligence
Just
for
to
everyone.
get confused.
AI keeps accelerating, and over the past few months, we've begun to see glimpses of AI systems improving themselves. So developing superintelligence is now in sight. I believe deeply in building personal superintelligence for everyone. And at Meta, we have the resources to build the massive infrastructure required.
Why is it superintelligence? Why was it general intelligence? Why can't it just be intelligence?
And the ability to deliver new technology to
They keep
billions of people.
bastardizing the
I'm
terms.
excited to build this future, and we've got a lot more to come soon.
Zuckerberg is putting his money where his mouth is. Meta has already spent tens of billions of dollars to build new data centers, and plans to spend hundreds of billions over the coming years. For example, they're planning to build a monstrosity of a data center in Louisiana,
5
which will
gigawatt over several years. And we've heard Sam Altman referring... I keep slouching. Oh my god, sorry. We've heard Sam Altman saying that maybe his 10 gigawatt data center would be able to be good enough, you know? And here we see that this gigantic piece of shit is only going to be able to scale up to 5 gigawatts over several years. So we might never see anything.
roughly the size of Manhattan. These data centers will supposedly enable Meta to build even larger AI models, which will achieve Zuckerberg's vaguely defined concept of superintelligence. In addition to
Vaguely defined
spending
keywords.
massive amounts of money on data centers, Meta is also paying top dollar to hire AI researchers. Meta has reportedly offered $100 million signing bonuses to top researchers at OpenAI if they agree to join Meta. But perhaps the most questionable hiring decision Meta has made is to hire the 28-year-old Alexander Wang to be their chief AI officer. In 2016, at the age of just 19, Wang dropped out of MIT to co-found Scale AI. Scale AI received its seed funding from Y Combinator. Sam Altman was president of Y Combinator at the time. Alexander Wang and Sam Altman are reportedly close friends. So what exactly does Scale AI do? Scale does something called data annotation. They label data such that it can be used to train large language models. As an oversimplified example, let's say you want to train an AI model that can
CAPTCHAs.
identify
The CAPTCHAs. If you did CAPTCHAs, you trained
a
AI.
cat. You give it a bunch of pictures of cats as well as other animals so the AI can differentiate between cats and non-cat animals. Each image must be labeled as a cat or a dog or whatever it is. Otherwise, the AI would have no way to start learning. Scale AI pays people a few dollars
No ways to start learning. You have to tell it exactly what it is. Otherwise, it can't learn.
per hour to categorize images and do similar tasks to create data labels for the training of large language models. Scale AI operates a website called Remote Tasks, where you can sign up and start getting paid to do this work. Remote Tasks claims to have over 200,000 independent contractors working for it. After the release of ChatGPT,
AI.
Scale AI saw its revenue explode. Every big tech company was rushing to develop large language models and were willing to pay top dollar for training data. Scale AI's customers included OpenAI, Google, and Meta, just to name a few. In May of 2024, Scale AI raised $1 billion of venture capital at a valuation of $13.8 billion. Zuckerberg took note of Scale AI's success and its importance in the AI industry. Remember that Meta was already a customer of Scale AI. If Meta were to try to acquire Scale AI outright, this would likely be blocked by the FTC on antitrust grounds. So Zuckerberg came up with a creative, albeit very expensive solution. In June of 2025, Meta paid $14.3 billion to buy a 49% stake in Scale AI. Because they bought less than half of the company, they technically don't control it. It is thus not an antitrust issue. As part of the deal, Alexander Wang agreed to join Meta as chief AI officer. In fact, the main rationale for Meta's $14 billion investment in Scale AI was to convince Wang to come work for Meta. As the chief AI officer, Wang is responsible for Meta's overall AI strategy, and he reports directly to Zuckerberg. Wang is an extremely bizarre choice to be the chief AI
It's a data labeling company?
officer of a massive tech company. He founded Scale AI, but Scale AI is not really an AI company. It never developed its own AI models or even used AI itself. They just set up a website where they pay people small amounts of money to label pictures. Wang has no formal education or experience in developing AI, yet now he's in charge of all of Meta's AI.
That's crazy.
Prior to Wang joining, Yann LeCun was Meta's top AI guy. It seems that throughout 2025, Zuckerberg started to lose confidence in LeCun. In April of 2025, Meta unveiled a new family of large language models called Llama 4. Llama 4 was widely considered to be a disappointment. It was exposed that Meta cheated on some AI benchmark tests.
Who would have thought?
They created different versions of the model, specifically tailored to do well on specific tests. Zuckerberg was reportedly furious with the poor performance of Llama 4. This is likely what motivated him to hire Alexander Wang. He felt that Meta was falling behind on AI and needed new leadership. After Wang became chief AI officer, he technically became Yann LeCun's boss. This probably made LeCun feel a bit awkward. Yann LeCun, a 65-year-old professor who is widely considered to be a pioneer in AI research, found himself reporting to a 28-year-old college dropout. But even more importantly, Yann LeCun had some fundamental disagreements with Meta's AI strategy. Specifically, LeCun believes that large language models such as ChatGPT and Llama will never achieve superintelligence.
Yo, the godfather of AI, or highly respected. Bro, did you hear? All right, let's just play it back.
Khan believes that large language models such as ChatGPT and Llama will never achieve superintelligence. In May of 2020,
Fundamentally, with the way that it works, that ain't it, bro.
Yanlu Khan gave an appearance on the Big Technology podcast where he explains why.
We are not going to get to human level AI by just scaling up LLMs. This is just not going to happen, okay?
That's your perspective.
There's no way.
We will not get human intelligence. That is a fact. But if you consider that about half of the population is so stupid that they're more stupid than 3 cats in a trench coat, it doesn't matter if effectively the LLM model is not as intelligent. If it's able to mimic intelligence, if your own perception of it is greater than what it actually is, and it is able to do certain tasks that a stupid person would be able to do, it doesn't matter if it's intelligent or not. It doesn't matter because they're going to be able to replace part of the workforce. They're going to have great impact. All the things that we keep seeing, it's going to be a victory for them. It's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful. So you have to understand, a professor, intelligent, knows about the subject, says it is not going to happen. No intelligence here. But it does not mean that there are no impact for us in the economy, in real life.
Okay, absolutely no way. And whatever you can hear from some of my more adventurous colleagues, it's not going to happen within the next 2 years. There's absolutely no way in hell to, pardon my French, the idea that we're going to have, a country of genius in the data center, that's complete BS, right? There's absolutely no way. What we're going to have maybe is systems that are trained on sufficiently large amounts of data that any question that any reasonable person may ask will find an answer through the systems. And it would feel like you have, a PhD sitting next to you, but it's not a PhD you have next to you. It's,
It's, can you imagine, okay? You have a book with all the answers, and you have all the time in the world, and it doesn't matter how many times you try. You understand? All those tries, they were done before. So, I mean, you gotta understand, it's just the next most likely potential outcome. This is where it's coming out. It's not intelligent.
A system with a gigantic memory and retrieval ability, not a system that can invent solutions to new problems.
Okay, we saw Wes Rod's video. No new solutions to a new problem. If it was able to answer any of these mathematical problems and the solutions that were presented were accepted and confirmed and whatever, that just means the same thing exists elsewhere.
Which is really what a PhD is. Okay, this is actually
the whole deal.
As I said before, if you think that we're going to get to human level AI by just training on more data and scaling up LLMs, you're making a mistake.
Yeah, because we already are. Oh, whippity whoppit. we already went through all the data, right? They said that there's not enough data, and their next option was synthetic data produced by LLM models, and that's gonna produce model collapse. And we saw how crazy this shit looks.
So if you're an investor and you invest in a company that told you we're going to get to human level AI and PhD level by just training on more data and with a few tricks, I don't know if you're going to use your shirt, but that was probably not a good idea.
When you interact with an LLM chatbot such as ChatGPT or Llama, it might feel like it's intelligent, but they are not intelligent. They cannot think. They just repeat things that they've already seen or read in their training data. For years, AI executives
even using seen and read, giving human-like properties is a huge mistake.
Executives like Sam Altman have promised that if you give them enough money and computing power, they'll be able to create godlike superintelligence that can cure cancer and solve all the other problems in the world. According to Lucan, even if you gave an LLM an unlimited amount of computing power, it will never cure cancer because the cure for cancer does not exist in the training data. Lucan specifically says that if a company tells you they will create superintelligence just by brute forcing more computing power, you should not invest in that company. The problem
That's what they're aiming for, right? That's why we've heard about the 10 gigawatts data center, $100 billion data centers. There is progress with the amount of compute, okay? More compute gave better results, right? We compare GPT-3 to GPT 5.2, okay? They are much different because of the compute, but there's no intelligence here.
for Lucan is that his boss, Mark Zuckerberg, basically fits that description. While his claims are not quite as grandiose as Altman's, he is also promising to create some type of superintelligence just by building new data centers. If Zuckerberg has one thing, it's money. Meta generates approximately $100 billion of operating cash flow per year. The idea that he can invest this money and create a godlike superintelligence must seem like a very appealing proposition to him, and that's exactly what he's trying to do with his $600 billion data center investment plan. Jan LeCun probably told Zuckerberg that this is not going to work, and it's probably a waste of money. This is not what Zuckerberg wanted to hear, so the relationship between the two men began to sour. This is why Zuckerberg hired Alexander Wang. Unlike Jan LeCun, Wang is not an AI expert. He knows nothing about the theoretical capabilities of large language models. His previous company, Scale AI, is very much aligned with the brute force method of AI development. Create as much training data as possible and use as much computing power as possible. Wang is a believer that large language models can result in superintelligence. Wang tells Zuckerberg what he wants to hear. After Wang became Meta's chief AI officer, Lucan was
There's not one chance.
increasingly sidelined. In November of 2025, Lucan announced his intention to step down from Meta at the end of the year and create his own AI startup. On January 2, 2026, just days after officially leaving his role at Meta, Lucan gave an interview to the Financial Times. In the interview, Lucan gave his opinion about Alexander Wang. Quote, "He learns fast. He knows what he doesn't know. There's no experience with research or how you practice research, how you do it, or what would be attractive or repulsive to a researcher. I'm sure there's a lot of people at Meta, including perhaps Alex, who would like me to not tell the world that LLMs basically are dead end when it comes to superintelligence. But I'm not going to change my mind because some dude thinks I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. My integrity as a scientist cannot allow me to do this," unquote. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video.
Fucking
what do you think
legend.
about Meta's AI efforts? Do you think they'll achieve
Stupid
superintelligence?
ass.
Or is Zuckerberg just wasting hundreds of billions of dollars? Let us know in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Wall Street Millennial, signing out.
Bro, great video. That was beautiful.